Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of F1 2020 Career Mode, and this weekend we have the Austrian Grand Prix. As per usual, we're going to start off with booking our activities in for the week before the race weekend. Austrian Grand Prix is a track that I do quite like myself, so I'm expecting a half decent results this race weekend. I do not have many resource points to spend on upgrades. As we've seen, I can't even redo that upgrade because I can't afford for the resource points that I have. All of our vehicle performance stats are all the same now, so our powertrain, aero, durability and chassis are all roughly about there. I am still going to continue with upgrading the chassis a little bit. I'm then actually going to focus on the durability department because, as you saw in the last race in France, we had major grid penalties which set us right to the back of the grid because our parts are wearing really quickly. So that needs to be addressed as an issue so we don't get grid penalties, so we don't lose out on loads of points during the season. So we're straight into Q1 here. I did on my practice session, so as per usual I'm not going to show you any of those, but we're going to go straight into Q1. On the soft tyres, Austria is a track which I do quite like, and with the Mercedes power unit I feel like we can do quite well around this circuit. It's not very aerodynamically dependent, as it were. It is quite a powertrain based track. As long as you get good exits out your corner, then you should be able to post a fast lap time. So I'm hoping this race weekend to get myself into a possible Q3, and at the end of the day see if we can maybe get a top 5 finish. I think it should be the aim for my team. We are currently 4th in the Constructors, racing it against Racing Point, who are behind us by 20 or 30 points. But my issue is that my teammate Luca Giotto unfortunately isn't managing to get any points or even near to points. Whereas both the Racing Points can get points themselves because they're both two good drivers. So I have to really focus on getting points myself in my own car. I don't feel like my teammate's going to help me out too much there unless we develop the car a bit quicker. But anyway, we come to the end of our first lap and we post a 1 minute 4.3, which is not bad. And then now we come to the end of the session, we come to the end of Q1. We already posted another lap, we're going to go around again. I'm going to show the end of this lap, let's see what time we can post. Good exit out of the corner, we go a 10th quicker. We're actually going to go for a 139. So now we're going to go into Q2. We did get into Q2 quite comfortably. Getting out of Q1 now for me is never really an issue. Unless it's a really aerodynamic or a chassis based circuit, then we will struggle. Now this session was quite weird because Q2 here, you can see it is raining. And the forecast was for the first 5 minutes to be dry and the rest of the session to actually be wet. So I got out the pits as soon as I can to make sure I get a lap in on the dry tyres. Because if that rain comes down heavy, then people on the dry tyres will not be able to set a quick lap. So all I needed for this lap to be was clean and just get across the line. Because the rain's going to start chucking it down in a second and we won't be able to go any quicker. So I just needed a clean lap. I didn't need to push the car too hard. Because I feel like other drivers will set slow laps because they won't get out in time. So we're going to go as quick as we can whilst being clean through the last corner. Valtteri's done a 1:03.3, which is a very quick lap time. We come through and do a 1:04.1, which got us through to Q3 in the end because we went out quite quick. So now Q3 is completely dry. One thing I haven't done this race weekend, which I was meant to do, was actually replace my control electronics box, which was very damaged in France. So, and I'm not going to do what I did in France and change it before the Grand Prix and get grid penalties. I'm going to try and deal with it and see if we can make it to the end of the race on that component. If we can and we get a good result, it means we don't have to replace a component and get a grid penalty, and we can do it between the race weekends, which means I won't get a grid penalty for the next race. Anyway, we're going to go on to our first lap here in Q3. I don't know where this is going to put us. It's not a bad lap. It could be a little bit quicker. We are actually purple in the second sector, 1.3 seconds ahead of Norris. So actually, I take that back. It's a very quick lap. Considering the car we have, we've got to try and get a nice clean entry here. Down to gear 6, not the best exit there. Down to gear 4, nice early on the power. Open the DRS, and we set a 1:04.1. Not a bad lap. Not a bad lap. We're going to go around again and see what time we can possibly post. We're quicker out the first corner. One thing I found with this track is it doesn't eat up your ERS too much, so I could actually go for 2 laps and stick it in hot lap the whole time. We do actually set a purple first sector, which is very good. That's how good our powertrain is in this car. We do get quite a nice exit through that corner as well. We're now 2/10 up on our times, and maybe we can get into the 1-minute 3s, which would be quite impressive for us. Lewis Hamilton isn't even in the top 10 yet. He hasn't even posted a fast lap time. We'll wait to see what he can post. As we are now nearing 4/10 up. Bit of a bad exit out of that corner. We lost a little bit of time. We are now 4/10 up again. Early on the power. I feel like the track is improving slightly now. After the rain in Q2, I feel like the track's drying out. That's why I'm also 4/10 quicker, not just down to my driving. Down to good. That was a much better exit out of that corner. On the power, we could have been 5/10 quicker. A bit of a bad exit, but we go on pole position with a 1:06.5. Very impressed with that lap from myself. We're actually going to go around again because I thought that Perez was in front of us, so he might be able to give us a slight tow. So we may be able to improve our lap very slightly on the basis that we are getting a little bit of a tow from Sergio. And on the basis as well that I didn't have long left in the session. So I thought, I don't have long left. I can't come in the pits and change my tyres. I've just got to go for one more lap to try and improve. Because the track is getting quicker. So the track's going to get quicker towards the end of the session. I needed to post at least one more lap. There you go. Hamilton says a 1:3 flat. Half a second up on my time that I set. Then Bottas says a 1:2.8. That is fly. That is a mighty lap from the Finn. Absolutely mighty. Him and Bottas, Hamilton and Bottas have finished. That means Bottas will most likely be on pole. I won't be able to displace him, that is for sure. We're going to go as quick as we can and maybe see what position we can get. Only down one gear, I think that's the quickest way to do it. We're now in P5. Technically, we get a good exit out of there. We are going to go very slightly quicker. We'll go 2500s quicker. And that puts us in P4. Must have been very close to me and Sebastian Vettel. But we qualified P4 for the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm not too disheartened by that at all. So it's Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, then us, then Leclerc, then Vettel. And I will see you in the race, guys.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
We've got 5 red lights. And away we go. Very good start there. Actually, we got held up a little bit by Hamilton behind his rear tyre. Hamilton's actually started on the medium, so that's going to be very interesting strategy. We slotted down the inside. We got Valtteri on our outside. He gets a much better exit than we do. I think Valtteri's just going to go here. I'm not going to bother trying to keep up with him with the ERS or anything like that, because I need to save it, because I'm not going to be fighting with Valtteri today. After seeing how quick he was in quali, and for the fact that he's a Mercedes and my car is nowhere near that quick. You can already see he's already 0.6 of a second away from us. So we're going to have to watch out for Hamilton. We should be able to keep up with Hamilton or keep in front of him in this first stint, as he is on the medium compound tyre. We're going to fast forward to lap 5, and you can see Hamilton's right behind us still with 2/10 behind us. He's going to try and go for a move. I think it's turn 1 here. We're going to give him some space, and we keep our nose in front of Lewis. But there was a lot of defending on my behalf this race. A lot of defending. So I had to really be paying attention. We're actually going to go 3 wide into this tight right-hander. This isn't going to end well. Hamilton bashes us. Verstappen bashes us. We actually get a good exit. And we stay in front somehow. That was chaos. Absolute chaos that was. Anyway, we're going to stay on lap 5 now. We still got Verstappen behind us. Only a 10th behind. We've got to try and not make any mistakes through these technical sections here. Do not let Max get a good drive out of that final corner. We messed up a little bit here. He's going to possibly attack us on the inside of this corner. We have to give him a little bit of room. He's still going to be there, and we get him down into the final corner, get a nice exit, deploy the ERS a little bit, and keep our nose in front of Max Verstappen. We're going to be pitting on lap 8 in this race at the moment. There is no forecast. The forecast doesn't schedule for rain. We do have a little bit of oversteer out of the corner, so Verstappen is going to attack us on this straight. He is a lot more straight line speed than us because of DRS, but he actually doesn't go for the move, which I'm very surprised about. It's not like Max Verstappen to do that. He could have been alongside, but he decided to wait a little bit. Again, another kick of oversteer. You can tell these tyres are just starting to lose their life a little bit. I'm getting a lot more oversteer than I was before. We're going to skip to lap 8, which is my pit lap. And I'm going to be coming in a lap before anyone else. So before any of the front lot of cars, I'm coming in before them. So I need a good stop here from my team. So we're going to see what kind of stop that we can get here. Going to hope for about a 2-second stop. Oh, it's a bit slow. 2.7. That was quite slow. Initially, the start of their pit stop there from them wasn't brilliant. Our teammate is down in 21st. Luke Giotto, what is going on? I'm up battling for podiums and he's in 21st or 20th now. I think this does prove that at the start of next season, I'm going to have to save my money for a new driver. And not actually spend loads on the facilities. I want to spend a lot of money on facilities. However, I think a good second driver is required. Because having a team where I want to be fighting in the points and to have a second driver who has not really ever got close to points. Apart from when there's been a bit of retirements up at the front of the field. I mean, he's 3 seconds behind the Williams of Nicholas Latifi here. Which obviously I don't know what's happened during the race. He may have had damage, may have had a crash. I don't know. But he's holding me up a loads here. See, I wish there was team orders that I could directly give to him because I had to wait until the end of that lap to go for it. But now we're going to fast forward to lap 15 where we do have Lewis coming down the inside of us and we just shut him off. But as you can see, Lewis is now on the soft compound tyre. It says at the start of the race, you have to look out for him. He's on the softer compound. He's gaining so much speed on us. It's on the exits of corners where he's going to be ridiculously quick. We get hit on the side pod by Lewis. I don't know why he did that unless he got hit from behind. There was no space for him. But we shall continue. He is now 4 tenths behind Leclerc's in P4, Stroll's P5. I don't know what has happened to Max Verstappen. I believe he actually retired out of the race. I'm not too sure about that. I did cut that bit out because it was quite a boring segment of the race. I believe he did retire, if I'm not mistaken correctly. But we're going to continue on. We've got to just try and keep this spot to Hamilton. If I can even come with P3, I'll be happy. But I really do not want to let Lewis past. Yeah, if I can take P2 after having Lewis behind us on softs, I will be extremely happy. Anyway, we're going to come to the end of lap 15. Pop our ERS. Get a bit more straight line speed. It does help really having this Mercedes engine. But the Ferrari engine is the quickest car on the grid in a straight line. So the Ferrari behind us could very possibly be getting close to us with Charles Leclerc. And Charles Leclerc, as I say that, is now behind us at the end of the last lap. Look at him absolutely steam past us. We're going to try and go defensive down the inside. Lift off a little bit. Make sure I don't make contact. Don't make any contact with him there. Just a great move under braking. Proper late on the brake. Did lock up the tyre. But it is worth it. We're now half a second clear of Leclerc and Hamilton. Or Hamilton just got past Charles Leclerc. They're battling for the last spot on the podium. So they've really got more of a battle on their hands than I do. And that last podium spot is so useful for points. Lewis is now only 2 tenths behind us. We're going to have to do everything we can. We have not a lot of fuel left or ERS in these last few corners. We don't have a lot left to fight with. We're going to hope that he doesn't get a good exit. We use up the majority of our ERS to pull out a little bit so he doesn't attack us. Our ERS is still enabled. We disable it so we don't slide out the corner. Then we enable it again. And we're going to come through to finish in P2 for the Austrian Grand Prix.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
So P2, I'm very, very happy with that. Driver of the day as well. I didn't actually make up that many positions, but it was just a very consistent race. I didn't make many mistakes. The mistakes that I made, I brought back by some better driving. But Bottas takes the top step of the podium. And he is going to increase that lead over Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. And this is very handy for us because we're going to get more points than Racing Point. Racing Point come away with 18 points this weekend. I come away with 18 points. Giotto came 18th in the end. He did beat the Williams. But again, we stay up to P4 in the Drivers and P4 in the Constructors. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you did enjoy, smash the thumbs up button and subscribe below. And until the next career episode, bye for now, and I'll see you soon.